Hello, good morning. We are on day 4 of our 4 days to mealtime happiness challenge. Um, Rachel here, and okay, I think we've got it. This is now my second time recording this video. So, decided to freeze on me the first time. That was really fun. Um, whoops. Um, Hi. Thank you for joining and thank you for being here and dealing with some of my technical difficulties this morning, but I think we are good to go. And I am happy to be chatting with you because we are going to be chatting about putting it all together. I have loved this week. It has been so fun for me to get to work with so many of you. You have all asked such great questions, and I thank you so much for really just trusting in me and trusting me to be your guide this week, and maybe even trying something that felt a little bit new or felt a little bit different. I think that it can be scary and it can be really hard. So I thank you so much for being with me and just being part of my community here. And today we get to put everything we've talked about together. And we also get to talk about where to go from here because that is exciting too. I know some of you guys have had so many. You all have had so many of these aha moments. These these like just beautiful moments where you've been able to put some of my strategies and steps into place. And I want to keep that momentum going with whoever is ready to join me and really create this feeding framework of positivity and joy for life, because it is absolutely possible to make feeding something that is so much fun. So, but before we get there, let's just kind of recap and we'll talk about today. So, we have talked about some big things this week. We started the week by talking about what we bring to the table. And I think I've used that like every day this week because I love it. But um, we talked day one, we talked about our feeding agenda, right? And how letting go of that agenda, of us having an agenda, can be so powerful and impactful on feeding our kids. We've also talked about how our expectations, setting realistic expectations at mealtime, can be a really great way to make mealtimes feel a little bit easier and to know what is realistic and what's not realistic. And really, that change in mindset can have just such a huge impact on our kids and feeding. We also talked about wins and celebrating small wins. And we talked about how it's about exposure and exploration of foods that are going to lead to your child trying new foods. It's not about them taking a bite at that specific mealtime. I want you to remember we have those short and long term goals, right? And there's a big difference between meeting needs right now and making sure and then working to increase variety in the future. And what I want you to do um, is feel good about that. Awesome. Thank you, Annika. It's working again. Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. You may be hearing me repeat a few things if you watched my other video, but hopefully that's helpful, right? The more times we hear something, the better it is. Okay, so today is day 4. And with day 4, we're not adding too much, but I want you to think about what you can control when it comes to feeding, and not to make meal times be about how much food your little one is eating. To do this, we take away bribing, pressuring, negotiation at meal times to get our little ones to try new foods, and we just um, we focus on being together as a family. And that is really how we shape and how we help form that positive relationship with food. The goal, the ultimate goal, is for our kids to try new foods and to eat a variety without us asking them to, without us saying, take one bite of everything on your plate, right? We want them to have that internal motivation. It's not the easiest thing to do, It's not easy. It's easier to bribe them to get them to eat their green beans or their broccoli, right? To get to do that. But when we can really do this, when we really do this and they have that internal motivation, that's where we help. That's where they are able to form that positive relationship with food. And I don't expect you to have this mastered in 4 days this week because you can't, but what this was meant to do is show you this new way of doing things and show you that it is possible to feel good and feel relief and feel joy when it comes to feeding your kids. And in here in this program, we in this week we really just talked about kind of the how, right? Or like what to do. We didn't even get into the food very much. And I saved that for my Conquering Mealtimes program where we really dive deep. But I want you to think about that and remember the activity we did at the very beginning of this challenge where we closed our eyes, we thought about how food was for us growing up, and then we thought about food for our littles and what we want them to think about growing up. So I want you to remember what do you want them to remember about meal times when they are adults or older? Do you want them to remember you asking them to take a bite, the fighting, the bickering? Or do you want them to remember like being silly at the table? And we do have a choice here. We can make meal times more enjoyable, and it really starts with us. And it starts with having that trust. And again, I don't expect you to have this mastered, but if you've been starting to think about this and this is working for you, I invite you to absolutely take the next step with me and continue this momentum and keep it going. I have it's a course, a program, if you will, called Conquering Mealtimes, and it is a 3-month program where you and I are working together on feeding every step of the way. It's not intense. You don't have to spend hours every day or even, work on it every day. You can view the material on your schedule. It is, we'll dive deep into this feeding framework and we'll figure out how to make mealtimes work for you. I have weekly support. So there's weekly sessions that you can join. If you can join live, you can catch the replay or you can catch the replay. You can, there's also with my program, every month you get one call with me. That's just us one-on-one to kind of talk about how things are going for you specifically. And then I'm here, and then there's a community support where you can just ask questions and get answers from me and from a like-minded community who is right there in it with you. And I'm here to hold your hand. And after the 3 months, you are going to feel just so good about feeding. And I think that diving deeper is going to help you trust and trust that like it's never gonna be perfect, right? It's never gonna be perfect, but you are going to have the tools and guidance and support so that you know what to do, so that you feel really good feeding and that you're not scared anymore. You don't have that fear anymore. You don't have that stress anymore. And that is what I'm here to guide you and to coach you. So if you have had some aha moments in the past 3 or 4 days of this challenge, think about how amazing it could be. I will link to my Conquering Mealtimes program, and I will, I'm going to come on tomorrow, even though tomorrow is not our Facebook Live. I'm going to come on to do a little debrief of the week and to check in and to answer any other questions that came in. I will answer a couple at the end of this as well because I know there was a few more that came in yesterday. But I want you to think about what that support might look like and how you can keep going and keep making progress. And I offer free introductory 15-minute calls. So if you're not sure if it's right for you, if you're kind of on the fence, if you're just even thinking about it a little bit, let's hop on a call and talk about it. Because I can absolutely tell you if you are the right fit for this program. And I am going to be 100% honest and transparent because I want the right people to be in there, right? Where we can move forward and make progress. So let's see. Yeah, um, I'm excited about it, and you'll learn more over the next week about that as well. Um, oh, I also wanted to remind you that my food exploration giveaway, book giveaway, you have until tomorrow. So I think tomorrow is the April 23rd at 11:59 p.m. to respond in some way to each day of the challenge, whether that's via email, on the Facebook Live, on the Facebook posts. And you didn't have to actually comment the day of them. You could do it at any time as long as there's one message for you from you on each of those days. You will be entered to win that book bundle, which I am so excited to be giving away to one of you lucky winners today. So, um, so I think that that's the gist of it. And so what I want you to do today, your action item, is at your next mealtime, do something fun, do something silly, play a game. And when I say play a game, I'm not saying like bring out chutes and ladders, bring out checkers, bring out chess. No. What I am saying is which animal am I thinking of? Or what color am I thinking of? Or I spy. Just something that takes the attention off of what you and your child is eating. That is what can be so helpful in moving forward. So, you have the basis of the past 3 days. So I want at mealtime, don't make it be about the food. Make it be about something else, some other enjoyable thing that you are talking about. Okay, I just want to get to a couple great questions that came in. Oh, one was about leftovers. So when you offer new foods and they don't eat them, what do you do with leftovers? I feel bad throwing food away, and if I have to let him try a new thing 10 times, that seems like a huge waste. Okay, great question. And when you are offering new foods, I would always make it be food that the rest of the family is eating. And actually in my Conquering Mealtimes program, we do a lot of like meal planning together where we can make sure, and I help you come up with a plan of like what new foods should I be offering? And we figure out, well, what do you like to be eating? What do you like to cook? What do you want to try to cook? So making foods be about what you're eating and wanting to eat, so that if your child doesn't try it, you're not wasting a whole batch of food. Like I wouldn't, do you remember my story about the red quinoa balls, roasted red pepper quinoa balls? My daughter didn't even try them. I ate them and enjoyed them, so that was still positive. But if I would have made something that I didn't want to eat, it would have even felt worse that she didn't want to eat them. So make those new foods something that you're eating. And then if you are putting some on your child's plate, just do a little bit. That's going to be a better option anyway, to do a little bit so that they don't feel overwhelmed. And you put a little bit with some of the other food that you're eating, or if they're serving themselves, they can do that too. So I would say that, and recycling leftovers, like you didn't eat this yesterday, here's the same thing again. I think you could do that for like a day or two, but if you do it over and over, your child might, it's like us, we get sick of things over and over. So I would just do it for a day or two. um, and when I say that you want to offer a food like 10, 15, 20 times, it's not that you have to offer that food 10 days in a row. I don't even think you need to focus on like, how many times have I offered this food? What are their interactions with it? I wouldn't worry about that. I would just think of when you're making it for your meal, you can offer it to your child. Let me know if that makes sense. So you're offering it just as you are making it. And I know some of you might be having a hard time like coming up with these meal plans, and well, how do I offer it? What should I give them that's new? How do I like do this? And again, in Conquering Mealtimes, that is what we do. We look specifically at what your child is eating, what is on their safe or their preferred food list, what's maybe on their not yet list, and we look at that and come up with a plan. And we even talk about, okay, based on what they are eating, what are some new foods that they might be more willing to try, and how can we kind of pair that all together to make just a plan where parents feel so confident in what they're doing and know that they're on the right track. So that was a really great question. And then another question that came in was about celebrating small wins and praise. And when I say celebrating small wins, I don't necessarily mean you need to celebrate with your child and say, "Oh, you did such a great job." Um, oh, good. I'm glad the feedback on the leftovers was helpful. So you don't need to say like, "Oh, you did such a great job. Thanks, thanks for trying that or thanks for touching it." I more mean I want you to celebrate that win. I want you to know that when they touch that food, when they smell it, when they lick it, when they even spit it out, that is on the path to getting them trying new foods. Okay, so that's part of like getting them on that path of trying new foods. Um, um, let's see. I think that was pretty much it. There was another question that came in, um, which I think was kind of on scheduling, um, for a child who refuses to eat breakfast and it's not really possible. He can get a snack if he's in his classes, but he doesn't necessarily have time. Um, that just kind of reminds me of the of kind of having a meal and snack routine and kind of what that looks like. I recommend for younger kids, every about 2.5 hours is an appropriate time for a meal or snack. So if they don't eat something at breakfast time, they have another opportunity a couple hours later for a snack. And if you want to chat with me more about that, we can kind of dive into that. I know sometimes it can be kind of tricky to figure out what that looks like, especially with like being in school or not being in school, and everything like that. So we can dive into that too as well. Okay, I think that's all from me. So takeaways for today. Do something fun at your next mealtime. Report back to me. Please let me know how it goes. I'm posting more info about conquering mealtime so we can just kind of keep this journey going, which I hope you'll join me. And if you are not sure or you're even just like a little bit thinking about it, let's hop on a call together and figure out if you're the right fit and if I think it will work for you. There is absolutely zero pressure to join. I am just here to help you, and it makes me so happy to get to help you feel happy and less stressed. So, okay. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for this wonderful week together. I will be back tomorrow also at 9 a.m. Pacific for a little debrief and to answer any questions that come in today. And I just can't wait to continue the journey with you. Have a great day.